Attention passionate Dallas Cowboys fans. Latest news. Something big is happening in the NFC East, and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Dallas Cowboys' path to another championship run. A power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before we dive in, if you're a true Dallas Cowboys fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 8,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and fellow Dallas Cowboys fans. Let's get to the news now. Folks, if you watched that Week 7 game against the Washington Commanders, you know it was one of those roller coaster moments that make NFL football so unpredictable and intense. The Dallas Cowboys, a team with so much history, so much pride, and so many aspirations, faced a huge setback that could shake the entire season. That setback was none other than the injury to Kenny Clark, a key piece of their defensive line. And trust me, this isn't just a minor bump in the road. This could be a defining moment in their campaign for a deep playoff run or even a shot at returning to the Super Bowl. Before we get into the specifics of what exactly happened, let us take a step back and appreciate the context. The Cowboys, despite all the ups and downs this season, are still a team that fans believe can compete at the highest level. Their defense, which has been a bit inconsistent at times, showed flashes of brilliance against the Commanders. They managed to make crucial stops, create turnovers, and keep the game within reach. One of the standout moments that really sparked some hope was when quarterback DaRon Bland picked off a pass and returned it 68 YDs for a touchdown. That was a huge play, his first interception since 2023, and it injected some energy and optimism into the Cowboys' sideline and fan base. It was a sign that despite the struggles, they still had that fighting spirit, that ability to turn the tide with a big play. But as we all know in football, momentum can shift in an instant, and that's exactly what happened after that electrifying touchdown. The Commanders responded with a long, sustained drive that culminated in running back Chris Rodriguez Jr. scoring on a short run. The game was tied. Tension was high, and the Cowboys' defense was under pressure. Then in the middle of this drive, disaster struck. Kenny Clark, who has been a vital part of their defensive front, went down on the field in a way that sent shockwaves through everyone watching. Clark was seen lying on the turf after a play that looked innocuous at first glance. But the way he stayed on the ground and the immediate concern from teammates and coaches told a different story. They say football is a team sport, and when a key player goes down, it is not just about replacing a body. It's about losing a leader, a disruptor, a guy who holds that defensive line together. Clark, with his strength and experience, had been a stabilizing force for the Cowboys this season. Now, with him on the turf, the team's morale and strategic plans faced a serious challenge. The medical team quickly brought out the blue tent for further evaluation, and we all held our breath. Watching him walk off the field, albeit slowly, was a small victory in itself. But the real concern was what this injury could mean for the Cowboys moving forward. This injury, folks, is not just a minor inconvenience. It has a potential game-changer. The Cowboys' depth along that defensive line is already tested this season, and losing a player like Clark could force them to make adjustments they'd rather avoid. It could open up opportunities for other players to step up, but it also increases the risk of the defense losing some of its effectiveness, especially against strong running games and mobile quarterbacks. And in the NFL, every game is a battle of attrition. Injuries happen, but some hit harder than others. And this one could be one of those defining moments for Dallas this year. Now, the immediate aftermath saw the Cowboys trying to regroup to keep their composure and focus on the game at hand, but the mood was undoubtedly affected. The defense, which had shown signs of resilience, now faces an uphill climb without Clark. The coaching staff and medical team will be closely monitoring his condition in the coming days, and the entire fan base is anxiously awaiting updates. If Clark's injury turns out to be serious, it could be a significant blow that tests the team's depth, resilience, and their ability to adapt without their stabilizer on the line. And let us talk about the broader implications here. The NFC East, as you all know, has been fiercely competitive this season. The Eagles, Giants, and Commanders are all fighting tooth and nail for supremacy, and a key injury to a vital player on the Cowboys could tilt the scales. The division is so tight that every game, every play, and every injury counts more than ever. The Cowboys, who have been in the thick of the playoff chase now, have to deal with this unforeseen obstacle, and it is going to be a true test of their character and depth. But beyond just this injury, let us reflect a bit on the season overall. The Cowboys have shown flashes of brilliance, especially on offense, where they have some of the most explosive weapons in the league. Their quarterback has been performing well, and their offensive line has kept him upright in most games. Yet the success of any team in the NFL hinges heavily on the defense, and that is where the concerns are mounting. The defense has been good at times, but not great, and injuries along that line could make that inconsistency even more pronounced. Historically, the Cowboys have always been a team that fights back, that finds ways to overcome adversity. Remember their performances in the 1990s or even the recent deep playoff runs. They've always had that fighting spirit, that resilience. Now with Clark potentially sidelined for a significant period, it is up to the coaching staff and the remaining players to step up and fill that void. It has a challenge, no doubt, but it is also an opportunity for others to prove their worth, to rise to the occasion, and to show that the Cowboys are more than just a one-man team. Fans are already buzzing on social media, sharing their hopes, fears, and predictions. Some believe this injury might be a temporary setback, that the team has enough talent and depth to weather the storm. Others worry that losing Clark could be a season-defining blow, especially if it leads to a series of losses or a dip in defensive performance. It has that classic NFL narrative of perseverance versus adversity. And that's what makes this league so compelling. Every week, every game brings new stories, new heroes, and new heartbreaks. Now we should also consider the strategic adjustments that might be made moving forward. Coaching staff will need to rethink their rotations, possibly lean more on younger players or veterans who haven't had as much playing time. It has a chance for some of these guys to step into the spotlight to demonstrate that they belong in the NFL elite. At the same time, the team's leadership on the field will be crucial to maintain morale and focus, especially in tough situations like this. We all know that in football, it has as much mental as it is physical. In terms of upcoming games, the Cowboys will have to prepare for opponents who will look to exploit this injury. They'll need to be disciplined, strategic, and relentless in their effort to keep the defense stout. The next few weeks could define their season, not just because of the wins and losses, but because of how they respond to this adversity. Will they rally around their injured teammate? Will they find new ways to dominate on defense and control the game? That is what we'll be watching closely. And let us not forget, injuries are a part of the game, and every team faces them at some point. The great teams are those that can adapt, that can overcome these hurdles and come out stronger on the other side. The Cowboys, with their history and talent, have that potential. But right now, it is about resilience, about unity, and about the next man-up mentality. So, as we keep an eye on Clark's condition in the coming days, and as we analyze what this means for the Cowboys' playoff hopes, remember that this team has always been about fighting spirit. The NFC East is a battleground, and a setback like this only fuels the fire of competition. The Cowboys are no strangers to adversity, and if there is one thing we know for sure, it is that they'll do everything they can to bounce back. And now, Dallas Cowboys fans, I want to hear from you. What is your take on this injury? Do you believe they can overcome it and still make a deep playoff run? Or do you think this could be the beginning of a tough stretch that might derail their season? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the team. And don't forget, be back soon with more updates breaking down the latest news, game analyses, and all things Cowboys. So stay tuned, stay passionate, and keep that Cowboy spirit alive, because no matter what, we all in this together, and the journey is far from over.